It's one of those trades that I would want to hold for a little while to see if we're going to get an expansion move, right, or not. So like when we stall like this, that's not what I want to see necessarily. I want to see that follow through happen right away, right? But that 5 minute just closed. We bounced off the 5 minute order block. So now I want to see continuation back to the upside. Remember, you can always just move your stop to break even. You can start to move your stop up a little bit as we move. Look at that. Okay, we're starting to move. I think we've already hit close to a 1-to-1 there. 43 ticks, so almost a 1-to-1. Okay, so my first TP is still at 73 ticks. And if we do start to stall below this level, I'll look to take first TP before we take out that high. Alright, so now we've hit a 1-to-1. 56 ticks so far. Okay, 1-to-1. We're almost at my first TP. You know, I might think about just taking first TP up here above a 1-to-1. Man, that dropped pretty aggressively there. That dropped pretty aggressively. I still haven't taken first TP. If you did want to take first TP, you might, you know, might have been a good move there. We're seeing that reaction right there. I don't like that reaction. Yeah, so I'm going to keep holding this, but, you know, got to see that. I don't like the 5 minute candle here. I don't like that 5 minute candle. I don't like that we started up and then come back down like that, but I'm going to continue to hold this and see if we get some kind of reaction. You know, maybe I'll move my stop up a little bit. I'm going to move my stop up a little bit. Up to like 30, so 74 is going to be my stop, so about 37 ticks just to, you know, mitigate some risk here. Just make, you know, less risk on this trade when we bounce like that. Alright, we already hit a 1-to-1. I don't know if anybody took TP. I didn't take TP, but we took 57 ticks, or 56 ticks so far. You know, but I wanted to hold this because if we do break this high, guys, you know, I think we're going to go. I think we're going to go. And I don't think there's a lot stopping us. Besides, obviously, the higher time frame imbalance, but on an, you know, smaller time frame level, there's not too much stopping us over here. Just got to see that push, that follow through here, right? And if we can push up again, you know, if we start to stall again up here, I'll just take my first TP. You know, you could also even just move your stop to break even at this point. Just make it a risk-free trade. You know, we're getting that reaction back down. So what I'm going to do is if I do see it start dropping really aggressively, I'll probably just get out of the position and you know, take a minimal loss, right? I'm not going to move my stop to break even just yet. But again, if we do start to drop aggressively, I'll think about just scaling out, right? Because of how we opened on the 5 and the 15 and how we're coming back down. Right, just ways to mitigate my risk. You know, just in case we do start to see us, you know, come back down and try to rebalance. Again, we just pumped again up to that first TP or up to that 1-to-1. We're stalling again. At this point, I'm just going to move my stop to break even, guys. I'm just going to make this a risk-free trade at this point. I don't like that stalling, so I just move my stop to break even just in case. And, you know, I'll see if we keep running. Right, I'd rather just have no risk on this. Yes, I moved it to break even. I don't want to take first TP yet because I do want to get the most of this trade. Right, because we are so close to breaking through that level, and I do think we will break through that level. You know, but if we start to stall again, I'll just take first TP here. If we start to drop a little bit, we'll see what happens. That's another strong push. We'll see if we can now push through this level. All right, we're getting closer there. We're getting closer. Getting closer. I'm just going to take my first TP here. All right, I just took my first TP. I just took first TP, guys. I took first TP. There we go. All right, my stop is still at break even. So we hit that first TP level either way. We just hit about 84 ticks. So my stop's at break even. My stop moved up to 85.50. Okay, 85.50. So my stop is here right now. So first TP got taken. Good trade so far. I ended up taking my first TP like around here at 70 ticks. I didn't wait for us to hit 73. But again, look at how we grab liquidity and we start to head back down. Right, so we start to stall. I want to see how much this will run though. Right, if this 5-minute candle displaces right here, or a 15-minute candle displaces in a few minutes, I think we'll keep running. I really think we'll keep running, and I just want to hold this. I'm just going to keep letting this run for a little while, guys. I'm going to keep my stop loss where it is. You know, this is one of those ones where if we do displace here on the 15-minute, I don't want to get out of this early. I'd rather let this come back down and stop me out at break even. And just give this one a shot, right? Give this one a shot. We already took TP at 70 ticks, right? So this is one of those trades where, because I see the potential of it continuing to run, I'm willing to just keep my stop at break even for a little while. Because look at this. Look at our 1 hour candle. Look how we bounce off the hourly order block, right? And look how up here, yeah, we have some stuff that could stop us. We've got an hourly order block up here. Got an hourly order block with the fair value gap above. But look how much we could still let it run all the way up to that hourly order block, because there's just not too much stopping us over there. All right, 15-minute imbalance. Like, I could see us running all the way up to that hourly. I could see us running all the way up to the hourly. So that's why I'm letting this one run, keeping my stop at break even for now. Yeah, and if I get stopped, I get stopped, and I still took profit. ES is at the top. Yeah, and here's the deal, guys. We saw ES already pushed through that daily imbalance, so I expect NQ to do the same here. And that's why I expect, although ES is at the top of that hourly imbalance, I would expect now NQ to try to push up into the hourly imbalance, right? I would expect NQ to follow and push into that hourly imbalance as well. So that's why you don't see me selling just yet, right? We can move our stop up to below this order block here. You know, I might do that actually. I might do that. I'll probably move my stop up to here, just below this order block. 1892.25. So now I'm going to be in pretty far into profit at this point. But again, if we do end up dropping below this order block, I'll probably want to get out, because then that tells me that this might be a liquidity sweep and we might come back down. So my stop is now just below that order block here, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. So far, really good trade, guys. First TP 70 ticks. Stop into profit. And yeah, now I'm going to let this one ride. Stops up here. And we'll see what happens here, guys. Like I said, I see the potential in this trade to come all the way up to this hourly up here, right, which is about 300 ticks away. So that's why I want to let this one run. This 15-minute will be key in the next 7 minutes to see, are we going to displace on the 15-minute time frame? Are we just going to kind of wick above and come back down, right? Same with the 5-minute. I want to see us really start continuing to push, and if we don't, we don't, and we took our profit and we get stopped out in profit, oh well. Right, so you could do what you want on this trade. You could take your full TP. You could move your stop. You could keep your stop at break even, but you could do what I'm doing. Move your stop into profit and let it ride and see what happens. All right, pretty good start to our week so far, though. I will say, good trade to start our day. Good trade to start our week. Now let's see if we're gonna bounce off this 1-minute order block here. Remember, guys, if we continue this trend and we do bounce from this level, like I said, there's not much stopping us. It is a Monday, right? We don't really have any major news coming out besides FOMC speakers. So that's the only thing, that maybe we'll range back and forth a little bit. So maybe we won't see that follow through. And that's one reason I move my stop into profit, because we might range, right? We might come all the way back down in range. So keeping my stop here, I'm good with. Keeping it just below that order block, that's good with me. And got close to getting stopped out there. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if this becomes a 5-minute order block and we really push through, or if we're going to come down and stop me out here. I don't know. What are you guys doing? Are you guys holding this trade? Do you have your stops in profit? Do you guys have your stops at break even? What are you guys doing on this trade? All right, I'm out. I'm out. Good trade, guys. Good start. Good start to the day. There we go. Watch, we're gonna pump now. Watch us pump now. Watch us pump all the way up to that 300 ticks. No, there's no FOMO. Even if that does happen, no FOMO. So what we did do though is we formed this little, barely small, little fair value gap just under this 5-minute. Right. So what I would do is I would look for, if we do pump again, and this 5-minute order block becomes a bullish order block, right? I would look for an entry, another entry if we retested that 5-minute order block to continue up, right? Because seeing us bounce from a fair value gap, displacing an order block, displacing these highs, right? That's when I would look for that trend to continue to the upside. But this 15-minute candle will be very key, because if we fail to come up and take out this high, we might come back down and range back down. Remember, like I said, it is a Monday, so we could do a lot of ranging today. Could do a lot of ranging. But at the end of the day, caught about 93 ticks on that trade at the top. Right, we obviously I didn't scale out at 93 ticks, but from our entry, 93 ticks, pretty good start. Pretty good start to the day. Pretty good start to our week. I'm still going to look for some more setups here. There we go, Johnny. I love it. Take your win, walk away. That's what I like to see, man. Don't give those profits back if you don't, if you're not willing to do that, don't give those profits back. All right, so we have about like 2.5 minutes left on this 15-minute candle. Obviously, right now it looks like liquidity sweep, but again, we could still continue to push through and close above, and that tells me that this trend is very strong and that we're going to continue, right? This 5-minute candle here tells me we're going to keep going. Wow, look at that. Xavier, that's on a PA. Man, that's amazing. And you're a beginner. That's so awesome to see. Good stuff. Okay, so we're looking like this right here, guys, tells me that we want to continue this bullish trend, right? So we're going to see what this 5-minute does here in the next minute and 40 seconds. Like I said, guys, remember, if that 5-minute does come up and take out this high, I'm going to use this 5-minute as my next target for a long entry. Right? If we were to bounce off this 5-minute, that would be my next target for an entry in the longs. But I want to see this 15-minute and 5-minute come up and displace this high. And if we don't do that, then I'm not going to be looking for the longs. Right? I'm going to still wait for my next setup. So that's my next confirmation. We only have about a minute left on both of these candles, so we're going to see what happens here. Right, especially after taking such a good trade to start the day, catching 70 ticks. I want to make sure we're very patient and we're waiting for the right setup to come our way. We're not going to force another trade if it's not our A+ setup. Right, we're not just going to give away our profits for no reason. But I will risk a little bit of my profits to still try to catch another good trade. Look at this. Look at this structure. Still looking very bullish, right? So if you did just keep your stop at break even, you would still be chilling in this trade right now. You know, if that's kind of what your plan was and that was your style, you didn't, you know, you wanted to let this trade run, well, you're good right now. You're good. Right? That was kind of what I wanted to do at first, but then I was like, you know what? It is a Monday. We might range a little bit, so I'm just going to move it into profit. But look at this, guys. So now my next target is looking pretty good. So this is my next entry target up here. This 5-minute order block. Okay, next level of support here. We trade back into that. Looking for another long setup. All right, so we'll just see. We got to see a strong reaction off the order block before I get into any position. You know, maybe off this 1-minute order block. But again, if we come down and just super aggressively come down and reverse, I'm obviously not going to be looking for longs. Right now, this is too aggressive of a bearish candle for me to even think about longs right now. All right, but we did get our displacement. I do want to start seeing a reaction back to the upside. So if we do start to pump, that's when I'll start looking for another setup, but not until then. I am liking our reaction we're getting right now. We're starting to get a good reaction off of that order block. Alright, I just entered with half a lot. Just going to give this one a shot. Obviously, that was not a good start. That was not a good start to that trade. 525 is my entry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my stop down here. I'm going to keep it at like 45 ticks. It's just half a lot, right? That was a pretty terrible entry right there on my part. 1894 is my stop, so that was not a great entry on that one, but I'm only in half a lot here. Okay, I liked that reaction we had initially when we just started to bounce, but we're not seeing that follow through. So I'm just going to keep it in half a lot and see if it'll come back up, at least up to my break even, and then kind of see what I do from there. So yeah, let's see what happens. I'm still liking that we're getting that stalling and getting a reaction off that 5-minute order block. I like that we displaced the highs. I got too high of an entry there. Okay, that's a good bounce there. That's a good bounce. I'm going to enter into a full. I just entered into a full there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my stop. I might even move my stop up a little bit more. I'm going to move my stop up a little bit more, keep it at 40 ticks here at 1895.25. Well, let's see if my entry moved. My entry moved up to 6. So I'm going to move my stop even more. 40 ticks, 1896 is going to be my stop. Okay, that's the movement I want to see. That's the reaction off that 5-minute order block that I wanted to see happen. So that's my confirmation on that one. Right, in terms of first TP, you know, maybe just look for about 50 ticks here. You know, maybe even just a 1-to-1 40 ticks. Maybe just scalp it. We'll see. We gotta see follow through now at this point, but I just wanted to move my stop to 40 ticks just in case, right? Because we're not seeing that continuation just yet. Okay, but that's the bounce I wanted to see off that 5-minute order block. We started to really push up. Now we're just not seeing that follow through. Might want to, you know, might have wanted to wait for this 5-minute candle to close here for that confirmation. Getting close to getting stopped out here. We'll see if we can get that reaction back up. We'll see if we can get that reaction back up. Might have not timed this entry the best here. But again, that's why I moved my stop all the way up here, just to mitigate any losses here. 40 ticks. 40 ticks here on my stop. Gonna see what happens. Looks like we might want to come stop us out. This 5 minutes looking a little too bearish right now. You know, we're gonna see. We're kind of chopping here. And if I get stopped out, I get stopped out. 40 ticks. I'm willing to do that right now. I'm willing to do that early in the day. You know, like I said, it might be the smarter move to wait till for this 5-minute candle to close. Right, but I loved that reaction we got off the 5-minute. And that's what gave me that conviction to get in that trade. But we are chopping over here. If we look at ES is chopping like crazy. We might stop us out and then pump. We'll see. We still haven't gotten stopped out yet. Let's see if we can get that pump now off this 5-minute. I still love that we got displacement here, but I don't like how bearish that candle was. I don't like how bearish our last 5-minute candle was. A little too aggressive of a bearish candle there. But we still respected our 5-minute order block. We still displaced the highs. Alright, that's why I'm still willing to let this one go. And if I get stopped at 40 ticks, I get stopped. But I'm willing to let this one go here. I mean, you could even keep your stop if you still wanted to hold this. You know, if you want to hold this and you really believe in this one, you could keep your stop beneath this 5-minute order block and really let it run. Okay, that's a good pump from there. Remember, first TP, I'll probably look at about 50 ticks, 18, 18, 50, 18, 1, 18, 50. Probably look for, like, I don't have any limit orders set right now because we don't have a lot of highs and lows to look at on the left side. So that's why I'm just kind of looking, you know, if we hit 50 ticks, I might just look to take first TP and then move my stop to break even and let it ride again. Okay, that's a good pump there. That's a good pump there. That's a good pump. If you guys want to take TP, we did hit a 1-to-1. And that's, but I kind of want to let this one ride. I kind of want to let this one ride here. Look at that pump. I'm honestly just going to let this one ride. You can move your stop to break even if you want. I low-key might do that. Guys, I'm just going to move my stop to break even. I'm going to move my stop to break even just because we're moving, you know, a little volatile right now. But again, like, that's a pretty good start. I just haven't taken profit, and I don't want this one to come back and stop and, you know. All right, so I got stopped at break even there. I got stopped at break even. Maybe not the best move on my part, but I just wanted to make sure if we did reverse, I'm not going to lose a trade where we just moved up so aggressively. Right, so I just got stopped at break even, and you know, I don't look at that. Yeah. That's not what I want to see there. That's not what I want to see. So I'm out of this trade here. But again, we did hit more than a 1-to-1 on that. So if you wanted to take your profit, you could have. I wanted to just see if that one would still go. Yeah, but moving our stop to break even might have been the best trade there. That might have been the best move on our part there. Especially looking over here at ES. This looks like this might be a manipulation move up. We're going to see. We could still bounce off this 5-minute. We could still bounce off the 5-minute, but I don't like this wick. Look at that wick up there. I don't like that very much. So at this point, I'd rather just kind of wait this one out. I'd rather just kind of wait this 5-minute candle out, see what happens. Right, so didn't take any loss there. Didn't take any loss. You obviously, if you guys didn't move your stop to break even, you could still be holding this position. But I just got out of break even, and you know, even if we do end up pumping from here and I miss out on it, I'm okay with missing out on this one. It just wasn't enough. Just wasn't enough for me there after seeing that pullback like that. Especially when we see such an aggressive move up and then an instant pullback. That's kind of a sign, right? That's a big sign of a liquidity grab, is where we move up very aggressively, grab liquidity, and then drop. Right? So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm good with moving my stop to break even. And even if I miss out on this trade, it's okay. I'm willing to miss out on a trade after seeing this happen. Right? After seeing this move, I'm like, you know, I'd rather just not lose a trade that I'm already up, you know, almost 50 ticks on. So that was kind of my reasoning there. But again, if you wanted to keep holding this trade, you could. I just don't like that 5-minute candle. I want to wait for this 5-minute candle to close and kind of see what happens next. So, I mean, this 5-minute candle is almost closed. But, again, we didn't lose any trade. We didn't lose on that one. Break even stop. So we're still chilling. Still chilling as of right now. Alright, 5-minute closed. We're just kind of caught. We're just kind of caught right now, you know. We could still very easily pump, but after seeing that last 5-minute candle, it doesn't give me a lot of conviction. Doesn't give me a lot of conviction just yet. Especially on a Monday. Especially on a Monday when we could easily come back down and range all the way back down to our market open. Right, all the way back down to here. So, we'll see what we do off this 5-minute again. Very bearish here. You obviously see this chop. We see this power of 3 over here on ES. So yeah, I'm waiting. Yeah, waiting for displacement now, because we could end up, you know, coming back down and really pushing back down if we do form this reversal pattern here. All right, we almost displaced these lows on the 1-minute. We're looking pretty bearish here. We're looking pretty bearish. We've got this 15-minute fair value gap here. But again, if we do form this reversal pattern on the 1-minute, you know, this high, low, higher, high, this is something I might look to take short. Just depends, guys. But seeing this power of 3 over here on ES, seeing this reversal pattern forming, now we're starting to look a little bit bearish. We're starting to look a little bit bearish here. So we'll see. Again, we still haven't displaced this 5-minute order block, so we could still see us bounce from this level, but such an aggressive bearish candle here. Now I'm going to be very patient now and wait for a really solid setup to come into play. Alright, so we just displaced. We did just form this 1-minute bearish breaker right here. 1-minute bearish unicorn, actually. So this could be a decent short level. Right, we have this high, low, higher, high displacement, leaving a fair value gap behind. This is that unicorn. One-minute unicorn here. Yeah, so this could be something that I do look to take short, guys. This could be something I do look to take short. We got our break of structure. You know, when we take out this low, that's when we're looking at a little bit of a change of character. We'll see. We still obviously need to see what happens on our 5 and 15-minute time frames, right? Because these are also very key to seeing follow through. Remember how we bounced from here earlier off this 1-minute fair value gap, or this 5-minute fair value gap? So we could still see a reaction back, but this looks very bearish now. This looks like our momentum is changing. Looks like a real reversal coming into play. Right. The cool thing about the 1-minute unicorn here is that we could have very good risk, and we could keep our stop loss well above the breaker and the fair value gap and keep it at like 40 ticks. All right, so that's something I'm looking for. Yeah, we could come down and try to fill that daily volume gap, right? If we look at a daily time frame. See that reaction off that daily fair value gap? We could come back down and try to fill this gap here. If the shorts are going to come in, that's what I could see happening. Remember, the more aggressive, this would still be a very aggressive entry because we haven't waited for the 5-minute yet. So that's why I almost want to wait for the 5-minute before I get any kind of entry, because we're seeing a reaction off that 5-minute fair value gap again. Alright, so I don't want to rush into anything just yet. But let's say we do start to see a strong reaction off this level, I might look to short it. We've now created these equal lows down here. equal lows. So we do have some liquidity now that we just generated. So let's see what happens. Let's see if we just push through this level or get a reaction off of it, and I might look to start taking it short if we do get this reaction. But for now, I'm going to be patient because this 5-minute candle, look how our 5-minute just closed, guys. We came all the way back up, respecting this fair value gap down here. So let's see. This 15-minute still has displaced. The 15-minute still has displacement to the upside. So I'm going to be very patient. I'm not going to rush into any trade because the longs could continue. This could be that manipulation move down. ES failed to take out these lows. Right, so now I'm waiting to see. A unicorn is a breaker with a fair value gap overlapping that breaker. So we see high, low, higher, high, displacement leaving this fair value gap here. So that's a unicorn where this is a very high confluence trade, but I like to see it on the 5 and 15-minute time frame. Okay, that's a good reaction. I just got an entry in the shorts there. I just got an entry in the shorts, half a lot. Half a lot. Half a lot. My entry is 1896.75, so it's kind of low. I'm going to keep my stop 50 ticks for now above this high up here at 18.10925 just because I'm in half a lot here. I'm in half a lot. I'm in half a lot. I do like that reaction we're seeing, but again, we got to be careful. I do like how the 5-minute opened up. And we're seeing a little bit of reaction, but we still respected our 5-minute bullish fair value gap. So we're going to see what happens. I'll let you know if I add into a full. Okay, I just added into a full there. I just added into a full. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my stop down a little bit. My entry is 96.25. I'm going to move my stop down just above this. Literally, I'm going to keep it at like 35 ticks. 18.105. 18.105. Small risk here. Keeping my risk small. It's above the breaker. It's above the fair value gap. I'd want to see that follow through happen now. I'll probably take my first TP down here at 63 ticks of that first standard deviation. Okay, that's a good start. That's a good start. Now if we see that continuation, we're going to be good. I'll take my first TP down here, first standard deviation. Wow, look at that, guys. Another good entry so far. Remember, you can always move your stop to break even, make it a risk-free trade no matter what. First TP for me is going to be at 1880.50. 1880.50 is my first TP level. Let's see if we displace this low here. If we displace this low, we're chilling. I don't want to see us grab that liquidity and come back up. But obviously, wow, we're almost at my first TP here. Wow, first TP just got destroyed. Stop is going to break even. Stop is going to break even. Alright, so first TP is taken. Another win there for us. 63 ticks at my first TP. Now I'm going to keep holding this, you know, down to these lows. Potentially all the way back down to VWAP. We'll see if we really displace this liquidity level here. Right now we look very bearish. This looks like a true reversal pattern. We caught that entry at the perfect time. Yeah, I'm willing to keep holding this one short. But yeah, another win there, guys. That's another win. So far we've had 2 wins and 1 break-even trade. 2 wins, 1 break-even trade. Remember, my stop's at break-even now, which is at 1896 currently. 1896. We'll see if we even displace these lows. Right now we're not looking like we're getting displacement. So we took our TP. Stop loss is at 1896. Let's see if we react off this fair value gap again. Remember, this could be another entry off this fair value gap. We didn't get displacement down here, so I wouldn't re-enter yet. Personally, I wouldn't re-enter into this or get another entry here because we didn't displace these lows. Not enough confirmation for me. Not enough confirmation for me. But either way, Even if this, we do look at that bounce off that 15-minute candle there, or off that 15-minute fair value gap. Strong bounce off that 15-minute, right? So that was a good first TP for us. We got our TP right in that 15-minute fair value gap, and now we're seeing that reaction back up, right? So far, good scalp, and we'll see if this truly is a reversal. Then we'll let this one ride. If this is a reversal, we'll let this one ride. If not, we'll get stopped out at break even and we'll be chilling again. Just another winning trade. I'm going to keep my stop where it is. I'd rather give this one some room to run. Because there is a lot of potential for us to come all the way back down. So we'll see what happens. Here. I want to see us displace these lows. 5-minute. Look how we had these equal lows. 5-minute came down, grabbed liquidity, and came back up. Right, so that doesn't look great in terms of the shorts continuing. We might see the longs come back, and if they do, it's just another scalp for us, another win. Oh well. All right, let's see. We're getting close to my stop here. Might get stopped out here in just a second. All right, I'm out. Another quick trade there. Another quick win. Yeah, so that's kind of two scalps in a row. Pretty solid. But after seeing that bounce now, after seeing us grab liquidity down there and bounce from our 15-minute, we don't look very bearish. Especially because ES failed to take out these lows and continue that power of 3. Alright, so we might have just caught the manipulation move. We're going to see. We'll see what we do off this 1-minute unicorn again. But to me, reading this price action and seeing us grab liquidity like this and not displacing the low, not super convinced in the shorts anymore. Not just yet, right? We could still see a reaction off this unicorn and continue down, but next I would probably wait for this next 5-minute candle to close. But the longs are looking honestly kind of nice right now, not gonna lie. If we push through this 1-minute unicorn, I think longs will step back in and continue. So we're gonna see. I'm not gonna rush in any more trades yet. So 2 winning scalps there, 1 break-even trade, sitting in profit. Good start to our day. So let's not take any dumb trades and throw away our profit, right? Let's wait for another A+ setup if we're gonna take another trade. It's got to be another A+ setup with good risk management like we've been taking so far. Right, on this trade, guys, I only risked 35 ticks. on this trade, so pretty good risk so far for us. Pretty good risk. We haven't really caught any crazy reward, but remember, it is a Monday. And, we expect us to do a little bit of ranging. So Mondays are typically the days that I like to scalp. I don't necessarily expect a lot of expansion, but in the off chance that we do get that expansion, I still want to leave a runner in just to see if we're going to be able to catch that move, right? We're struggling at this fair value gap up here, this 1-minute bearish breaker. Right, just looking at this 15-minute candle though, that tells me long. Look how we bounced off this 15-minute fair value gap down here. See that bounce? That tells me that we are still very bullish and that this 15-minute here isn't going to be an order block. We're going to displace this high. Another support level will be created. Power of 3 here on the 5-minute, accumulation, manipulation, possible distribution up. So we'll see. We're struggling to push through that unicorn, so there we go, Omar. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Enjoy that run. Enjoy that run. Enjoy those profits. Yeah, so we're struggling here again. Remember, guys, remember how I said this, honestly, if we displace this low, these lows in that liquidity, and we retraced up into this fair value gap, that would have been another good re-entry in the shorts. But because we didn't displace and because we saw that bounce from the 15-minute, I'm not going to re-enter in the shorts. Right? I would not get a re-entry in the shorts because now we're looking bullish. Okay, so look at that move. Look at these longs stepping in. We'll see what happens here. Is this a liquidity grab again? We respect this 1 minute unicorn, or are we going to come up and displace that 1 minute unicorn? Strong close on the 5 minute candle. Strong close on that 5 minute candle. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, so I mean, just expect ranging today. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting a lot of up and down movement. Just kind of staying in ranges. You know, maybe some seeking a story where we're going to come up, grab buy side, come down, grab sell side, come up, grab buy side, right? But like I said, on the off chance that we do see a strong expansion move on a Monday, well, I want to, and I'm already in a winning trade, I want to let that one run, right? I want to give that potential to see if we do end up getting that expansion and catching it all the way up to that, right? Like all the way up to that hourly. Or if these shorts were going to continue, holding them all the way down, you know, all the way back down to the lows, back to VWAP, right? Just give it a chance. Especially after taking profit, I'm willing to just, you know, let that one come back and stop me at break even or in profit just to give them a shot. That's why leaving partials is so beneficial. Leaving partials can be so beneficial. All right, we still are respecting that 1 minute unicorn as of right now. And we can see this just ranging price action. A lot of ranging price action. Yeah, you're not going to see me hop into another trade right now. Really gonna need to wait. Really gonna need to wait for, you know, be patient, wait for confirmation. But right now everybody should be in the green. Nobody should be red. Right? And now for the rest of the day with this account, if you're gonna continue to trade whatever account you're trading, you should be very cautious in taking care of those profits. And if you're gonna keep trading, only risking a little bit of your profit, right? So maybe that means if you're in minis, maybe now you move down to micros and you just trade micros. Or maybe you just trade half your position size, right? You have smaller stop losses if you're gonna keep trading it. Or you walk away now with your profit, you're content, you don't keep trading. Chop, chop, chop. Chop, chop, chop. Yeah, I mean, this 15-minute tells me bullish, right? 15-minute tells me bullish. How many ticks did I secure? So on our first one, I took first TP at 70 ticks, got stopped in profit, I think around 20 to 30 ticks. So 70 for first TP, 20 to 30 in profit, and then on this one I took my first TP at our first standard deviation, right, which was 63 ticks, then got stopped at break even. All right, so it's not like it's anything too crazy, but I'm chilling in profit right now. All right, I'm up pretty good off of just those two scalps, and we didn't really see a lot of expansion, so you know, I will only take another trade if we see an A+ setup. If we see a setup that, like, just, if I don't take it, I'm going to be like, why didn't I take that, right? That's the only kind of setup I'll take. You won't see me forcing any trades in the middle of this range. You're going to see me waiting for something real, and we might not even get that, right? We might just chop for a while and we'll call it a day on this account. We'll come back for education in our prop firm session, right? How do you use standard deviation? Yeah, so let's talk about that. So in terms of this 1 minute breaker unicorn we see how we have this high right here, this low right here, and this high right here, and we see the displacement move down. So on a breaker, I'm using my standard deviation. I'll get it again, like this, from this low. So this first high to low, that's where I use my standard deviation. So I go from the low to the high. That's how I use that from here. And now those -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, right? Those are now possible targets, right, if they're lining up with other levels. And notice how this first standard deviation lined up with our 15-minute bullish fair value gap perfectly. And we saw us come down and barely hit that standard deviation and then come back up, right? So that's how I use my standard deviation for, in this case, for our breakers. Because a lot of the time, it's pretty accurate to where price is gonna target next, right? Especially when it lines up with our other PD arrays, like the fair value gap, right? Like this fair value gap down here for a second. This third standard deviation is right at this order block down here, strong support level, right? So they usually line up at pretty good levels, so we can use them as confluence as to where we want to take our profit. Would I like to? Yeah, I haven't done a lot of research into gold or a lot of other indices, right? I've looked into them before, obviously, but I've never really traded them. But yeah, maybe we could start looking into it a little bit more. Maybe I'll kind of do a deep dive into some different indices and start doing some back testing on them. It is a lot less volatile, that's for sure. But yeah, guys, we're chopping right now. We're ranging. I probably won't take any more trades during this session. Chilling in profit. I'll take what I can get on Mondays. 2 pretty solid wins, 1 break even. I'd say that's a pretty solid start to our day and start to our week. But like right now, we're just doing too much ranging to where I don't want to hop on any more trades right now, right? Because we're not seeing any expansion. What I will say is I'll still look for trades after this, and if we do, start to see, if I see something in the market where we actually see a displacement again in a true possible expansion, I'll let you know and we'll take that, or I'll call it out. But besides that, I'd rather not risk my profits in this bad price action we're seeing right now, and just walk away. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to walk away, take my profits. Okay, take my profits. Let's just do a little recap real quick. Let's do a little recap of our trades. Do a little recap of our trades. So, first trade. First trade we see right here. We came back down into our 5-minute bullish order block. We were already bullish. Our bias was bullish on the day. We see us come down and get a strong bounce off that 5-minute order block. Gives me the confirmation that the longs are going to continue. I'm going to get involved. Okay, we hold this trade. We take our first TP at 70 ticks, just in case on the off chance we do range back down. And then we move our stop into profit after taking our first TP. End up getting stopped out. Right, pretty good first trade. And then we wait, and then up here we looked for another re-entry in the longs off of this 5-minute order block, right? It's hard to see right now, but we got another re-entry in the longs, right? Didn't end up taking first TP after we took out the high, right? We were pretty close to our first TP up here, but I decided to just move my stop to break even just in case we come back down. So we ended up getting stopped at break even, right? And then I saw us displace this low, form a 1-minute bearish unicorn with a breaker block and a fair value gap. We wait for us to trade into that fair value gap. We start to move down pretty aggressively. I get an entry. We catch it all the way down to here. We sell at our first standard deviation down in our 15-minute bullish order block for about 63 ticks. And then we get stopped at a break even. But overall, 2 wins, 1 break even. I'm going to walk away and take my profits. I'm going to be happy. And, we'll come back for education. Or if you hear from me again, I'll still be looking for trade setups. And if I do find something, I'll call it out to you. But besides that, guys, don't go taking dumb trades. Don't go risking all your profit because the market's chopping. And these are kind of the worst, in my opinion, the worst conditions to trade, especially after you've won. Because this is how you just give your profit right back to the market, is by trading this stuff, right? So that's why I'm gonna take a break now. I'm gonna give the market some time to kind of pick back up with volume and see if we do anything. But until then, I'll let this market do its thing, and I won't rush into any trades. Yeah, you're just D-shot this. Just hit me up. Just DM me. Yeah, exactly. We need a trend. We need a displacement move, right? We need something to happen. I'm not going to trade any of this stuff until I see something happen. All right. So for now, I'm going to go eat some food. I'm going to take a little break, and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to look at the charts, see if we have anything good to trade. And then, if not, then I'll see you guys for our educational session at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. And then we'll finish off the day with our prop firm session at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, all right? So if you don't hear from me, I'll see you at 9:30. And standard deviation, it's this Fibonacci sequence, right? It's the fib retracement tool. Fib retracement tool, Maxim. Alright guys, appreciate you. And I'll see you guys in a little bit. Peace.